Hello, I'm back with another edge refresh. This is a 7/8 Ralf Aust French point carbon steel. Again, these are absolutely wonderful razors from Ralf Aust. Incredibly good value, and I think they're also terrific looking. This one has a horn scale. And belongs to the YouTuber HD Shaves. Mr. Shaves enjoys a J-net edge, so that's what we'll be putting on this razor. I killed the edge, but previously I checked the edge also in the under a loop. And so, as you can see, I've just killed the edge, and the test result shows it. Because we're doing a J-net refresh and the edge itself before I killed it wasn't sharp, so I'm going to use hang on, I have the wrong Nagura here. Okay, I'm going to attempt to do this starting at the Koma Nagura, then do a Tomo Nagura using the DMT plate, and then final finish on soapy water or yeah, probably soapy water. All right, let's get started. A little bit of sharpening nerdism for you. The reason I don't handhold these stones is that I find a way to level them on the stone holder. Okay, let's get going. Let's start with the Koma Nagura. I'm gonna wet this down, find an edge that I don't believe will produce, or find an edge that I think will produce equal sized bits of abrasive in the slurry. Coming up slowly. These tend to, you get a little bit of a abrasive off the Nagura, and then the abrasive that the Nagura produces helps to produce more. I'm not quite sure how that works, but it doesn't seem to be linear. It feels like you do a little bit of work, and then all of a sudden, and you don't get much result, and then all of a sudden you do get a fair amount of result pretty efficiently. And so again, my view of this is pretty pedestrian. I think of, even though it's a very expensive J-net stone, it's still an abrasive tool to me. And similarly with slurry stones, a slurry, I've explained before, is just something that it's just an additional abrasive element. You want for it to do even abrasion, you want enough slurry that you can get an even layer under and above the edge, because the edge goes through the slurry, and here, because the slurry has a thicker abrasive or a larger abrasive than the stone, the slurry is actually doing most of the work. So we want enough slurry to do the work of shaping this edge. Now, I'm probably not going to record the next time I do a slurry because that took a while. Okay, let's get going here. The razor is in good shape geometrically. It's lying really well on the stone. I could feel that heel to toe are touching. The angle that I use tends to push slurry to the side here. All right, I'd say we are not down yet to where we need to be, but we're getting there. Let's spin this. You can sort of see, at least I can sort of see, how the slurry is starting to come up over the edge, but I'd like to see more of that. Perhaps I should have started with the Chunagura to really knock this down. This is always a question, you know, where do you start? If you start with finer slurry than you need, it just takes longer to get to where you want to go. I think we're okay. I think we're all of a sudden looking pretty good here. Let's do a quick cleanup. Don't have to be totally clean here, but we want to be good. And then let's see if we have any kind of sharpness going on. The ever popular packing peanut. No, I don't like that. I don't care for that. Definitely not working for me here. So we gotta go. We have more to do. So I bet the Chunagura was the place to go. And I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm going to pause you, create a slurry with Chunagura, and then come back so that you don't have to watch what you've seen before. Okay, we're back. Let's get going here. This is the Chunagura, and this is the slurry stone used by makers of samurai swords. That's one of the stages. There are even YouTube videos of sharpening samurai swords. It's quite a procedure. There's a fair amount of ceremony to that, and there's a specific position that you get into to do the sword. I urge you to try to find one of these videos. In no universe could I get into that position to sharpen anything. I couldn't get into that position to just sit. So, well, maybe I could, but sure as heck couldn't hold it for very long. Couldn't stay in that position for very long and be comfortable. All right, so hopefully our coarser Nagura is doing its job. We have a nice singing going on from the razor. right. Let's see if we've made any progress here. I'm gonna pause you and I'll be right back. Okay, so that first test was a no-go. I'm getting impatient, but I decided to thicken up the slurry here, and I've done a little bit of this already before hitting the record button again. But I'm starting to like the way in which the slurry is flowing over the razor. Or flowing over the edge. Spin back. There we go. Make sure I'm getting good looking flow at the heel. Very good on that side. Starting to get better on this side. There we go. There we go. And it's coming up very well that way. Very well that way. I have to make sure my pressure is even. All right, I think I'm liking this. Probably gonna push it a little bit more, but because these again, a slurry is an inefficient means of abrading, and I'm not always patient, so I'll often go the synthetic route to get geometry and establish a really good edge prior to moving to a natural stone, where I consider the natural stone to be simply adding the natural stone finish. That's actually my normal procedure. I don't typically do a lot of work with slurry stones, but let's check if I'm not making progress. I'm done. I'm gonna go to the synthetics and then come back. Nope. We are finally at a good. Okay, so we've gone from not being able to. Okay, so we're good. All right, we're actually very good. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna build the Coma slurry back. You don't have to watch that. Okay, this is made from the Coma Nagura. We're gonna try to refine this edge using the smaller abrasive here in this from this slurry stone. I'm letting as usual, just letting the abrasive do its work. You might wonder about slurry thickness. There's quite a lot of stuff on recommendations about slurry thickness on YouTube, and I'm going to get some instruction on the traditional Japanese approach to doing this. I do it based on my understanding of how slurries work. My thinking on slurries is with experience to understand that a thick slurry will have thick is more like a paste. So if it's a pasty slurry, then you have quite a bit of material that's actually ramming up against the apex as I do any stroke that's leading edge like this, and so that action is good for keeping burr cleaned up but it also limits the refinement, the ultimate angle or the ultimate size of the apex. So that's why if you start with a thicker slurry, then and you want to do refinement with that slurry, you know, you want to take the edge, the apex down as far as it can go, then you need to thin out that slurry so that you are effectively thinning out what was a pasty solution to more of a liquid solution. So here, you know, the movement of the apex through the slurry is the edge is, because it's more liquid, less of the abrasive material is actually affecting the apex, and the majority of my work here is running the underside of the underbevel, the bevel that's on the underside in this stroke, over this liquid substance, this liquid abrasive substance. There is, because of the speed of movement, there's still some bead blasting of the apex going on, but it's less so. It's less so than if it's a more pasty solution. So that's how I think about it. I'll be learning more soon. All right, let's do some testing here. See if we've improved our life. Let's see, it feels pretty good. Maybe could use some work on the heel there. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good. Let's do a little concentration. Okay. All right, that's not where I want it to be. Don't know quite what I did there. I'm going to not let, I'm gonna go back, do some more work. I'm not gonna make you watch that. Okay, the thinner slurry is starting to move over the edge the way I'd like, even at the heel. So let's do a little burr maintenance, and let's test. There we go. That's feeling better than it did off of the, yes, there we go. That's in the starting to approach cloud territory, which is where we want it to be. Taking pressure, but not a lot. All right, I'm going to put a use the DMT plate to put a Tomo Nagura, or rather create a slurry from this stone, and I'll be back. Okay. Now that we're at the, so a Tomo Nagura, a Tomo slurry is a slurry that is abrasive size the same as the stone's abrasive. And so in this case, we're using the slurry to enhance the capability, the stone's capability to abrade. And that is basically a stage in refinement of the edge. So the next stage in refinement of the edge, because I have the, as you can see, I have slurry running, I have the razor running through the slurry. And so again, the particles in the slurry are acting to abrade quickly, but they're also keeping the apex from thinning down as far as it could on a stone without slurry. So we want to do some of this to, you can see that the way the slurry is moving over the edge is very nice. And I'm really just pushing the razor through the slurry here, and you can see that it's moving very well over the edge. So let's I want to do a little bit of deburring. I brought a little moisture to the slurry. As you can see, it's thinned out just a little bit, increased in volume because of the addition of water. But it's looking very good. I think we're going to move now to water. Just a thin layer of water. So now we're letting the abrasive that's in the stone do the work, and the idea is that now we're working whichever bevel surface I place on the stone. That bevel surface is being having material taken away, and so if I do this on each side, then I'm reducing the apex size without the bead blasting effect of slurry. And I'm starting to get that feeling of having the edge being drawn into the stone, which is nice. I think we're going to test here in a sec. I want to, there we are. All right, let's test. See how we're doing. Okay, that's good. That's very nice. Okay, I need to go take a look at progress here, and I will be back. All right, the condition of the edge is spectacular under the microscope. And I did 25 laps on a fire hose linen hanging strap. Let's retest. Very, very good. Very, very good. Let's try another area here. Yeah, really good. All right. So some would stop there. I'm not getting the complete push into the cloud feeling. So I'm gonna go a little further. I'm gonna do the soapy water thing. There's some glycerin somewhere on a shelf here, but I've got the soap hanging out. So we'll put that on here. Add a little water to get the solution going. This just reduces friction, allows me to refine the edge a little bit more without the suction thing happening as early, so that I can push the edge a little further. Okay, so let's do that. I'm really just pushing when I'm doing these half strokes. I'm really just I'm not torquing at all. I'm just pushing the razor. And that was done primarily to just get things started. I want to draw, I'm going to do a bunch of these to draw out this edge. I really want to push it. It looked so good that I'm willing to take the risk of having the very apex not be so beautiful, but be sharper. So the Ralf Aust steel is pretty good. And so, and again, these are great value. If you're just starting out, a Ralf Aust 6/8 would be a great place to spend money, as opposed to, you spend more money, but it'd be a great place to spend money, to spend a little more and get a very good quality razor than to go out and buy a gold dollar or a gold monkey or something. Gold monkeys and gold dollars are great if you're going to play around with this kind of thing. If you're just starting to sharpen and you can get a good edge and you want to try different, you want to do what I do and just tinker with everything, those inexpensive razors are great because the cost of ruining one is very small. But for shaving, there's more than just the edge for shaving. There's the balance of the razor, there's the feel of the handle, there's the way the tang is designed. All of that plays into control of the edge when you're actually shaving. All right. I need to get one of these Pumas that Martin has. I've shaved with one once. It was a 5/8, and I liked it, but I decided I had enough 5/8 razors. I prefer larger razors, and so I decided I wanted a 6/8. So that's sometime in my future. I waited quite a long time to find the Carl Friedrich Earn razors that I purchased recently. All right, we're yammering. Let's get on with this and see how we're doing. That's really good. That is really good. Yeah, that's really good. That's yeah, that's just where we want it to be. Okay, especially because it's not stropped yet. All right, I want to go take another look. I'll strop it and then I'll come back. Okay, I couldn't help myself, so I went back to the Nakayama with the soapy solution on it, and I did maybe, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 seconds more, just because I couldn't help myself. It felt so good. Then I took a photo, microscope photo of that. Then I stropped 25 laps on the fire hose linen, and then 50 laps on this steer hide leather, and it is time to do a final test. Well, what I presume is a final test. If I ruin the edge entirely, then I'm back to square one, but let's see. Yeah, that's where we want it. Yeah, yeah, that's where you want to be. This is going to be an amazing test shave. Maybe I won't give this back. 7/8 is 7/8 is kind of my wheelhouse size. 7/8 and 8/8 are well, 6/8 too, but I really like this size. Yeah, this is going to shave amazingly. All right, thank you. I have microscope photos of the edge after soapy water, the edge and the edge after stropping. Anyway, thanks again. Appreciate it, and I'll be back for the next one.